T. Welcome in to Chatterbox Reacts. Jacob Tissett, Casey McAllister, wrong way. Still the wrong way. Casey McAllister. We're here reacting to T. Higgins signing his franchise tag a couple of hours ago earlier this morning. Casey, didn't think we'd be here this early in the offseason, but wow, what a good news to start the weekend for Bengals fans everywhere.
Yeah, certainly a surprise for many, many people. A little bit of a early Christmas. A surprise for all fathers on Father's Day weekend, this great Cincinnati day here. T. Higgins signed the franchise tag, $21.8 million. Kind of interesting, Jacob. I'm wondering why so early. It feels like it's a little bit of maybe he's just ready to get going, to fight for that Super Bowl run, to get a ring here in Cincinnati. Other part of me feels like it's maybe something more. What are the possibilities that we can see out of this?
I think most people around the Bengals and Bengals fans everywhere expected T to sign this contract. It's $22 million for 1 year of service to a team that's going to compete for a Super Bowl. So he would have been stupid not to sign it. We all thought it was coming. It's just a little bit of surprise that it comes in June. When Jesse Bates had his franchise tag debacle with the Bengals, he waited till almost week one to sign. We kind of assumed a similar situation would take place here with T. Higgins, but that's not the case. I wonder if T was just waiting for the market to grow to the size that he was comfortable with, and then he would come back and play. That's really the only reason I can think of signing the extension this early. Maybe he's just bored too. We talk a lot about the culture Zach Taylor's built here, how much all the players seem to like each other. He's been working out alone in Florida and Atlanta. Maybe he just wants to be back with the team. We see all the pictures and videos from training camp over the last week of the guys having a good time, smiling, playing together. And you got to think T must have missed that a little bit too. So he's excited to get back in the building, and we're obviously excited to have him. He's a crucial piece of this team, a crucial piece of this offense. And with young receivers like Jermaine Burton, Andre Yoshibas, Charlie Jones, it's not that important for T. Higgins to be here for himself, but another body with Jamar Chase to mentor these young guys, it's going to make a massive difference for the Bengals through training camp.
Oh, a huge difference. And, throughout this whole process, Joe Burrow still communicated with T. Jamar Chase and T. They're basically like this. They're good friends. Everyone wanted him back, right? I don't think there was any sort of mal feelings towards T. Higgins in this whole process. And honestly, you might be onto something about him being bored. This guy right here, I think he loves his compatriots. He loves his comrades in arms, his teammates. He loves being around the guys. He loves being a Bengal. And he's a big part of the Cincinnati Bengals. We have talked about this time and time again. Since coming into Cincinnati, he has been phenomenal, totaling 3,684 yards, 24 touchdowns. He's had some injury issues, but man, when he's on the field, he is a difference maker. I can still see him stretching across the pylon against the Vikings late last season, and you just know that he is a difference maker on this team. Very, very excited to have him back in the building. Very excited to have him and to make this Super Bowl run. I think he makes this team better today. It's almost a sign of good faith. I think, signing him this early could mean that maybe that they have a deal in place. Maybe they're thinking of trading him. But also it means that, he is showing his faith in the team and doing him right in a way.
Absolutely.
That's how I feel about it. It's his trust in this organization to do right by him when it comes to next year, not tagging him again or dangling him around, letting him walk, things like that. I think that this shows his sign of faith in the organization doing him right.
You're absolutely right. And for T's sense on his own, I mean, his rookie year on the doorstep of 100 yards, obviously the same year Joe Burrow tore his ACL. So, pretty bad quarterback play for the most of that year. And then 2,000-yard seasons back-to-back. And last year, marred by injuries, was his worst statistical season of his career. So for personal reasons as well, T needs to go out there and play well to secure that top contract that he wants, because everyone in Cincinnati obviously recognizes the talent at receiver he has, a top 15 or so receiver in the league, at least in my opinion. I know you share that opinion. And he needs to go out there and prove the stats like it in order to get that contract. So signing the franchise tag is both good for T and good for the Bengals. I think they can work together here to get them both what they want. Obviously, a ring for the city in the Bengals case, and then T, that top wide receiver money, whether here or elsewhere in the future.
That line that just scrolled past us, T. Higgins over under receiving yards, 875.5. Over. Hit the over now. He's here. He's ready to go. Who day?
Those are the old Bengals lines, those most recent Bengals lines I could find, FanDuel and all the other DraftKings, all the other sports books. All Bengals lines, all AFC lines are locked currently. They've been locked since T signed that extension. So that number might take a jump, but if you can see it active anywhere, if you can find it active anywhere, 875.5 certainly seems low for T. Higgins if he's healthy and on the field with Joe Burrow all year long.
Yeah, if you didn't get your Super Bowl odds at plus 1,300, I'm sure you're going to be rolling in your grave now.
They're coming down for sure.
They're coming down for sure. Yeah, Jacob, this has been a wild ride. I mean, T. Higgins requesting the trade, all the uncertainty surrounding it, and now we finally have our answer. We don't have to continually talk about this throughout the entire training camp. It's done. It's a done deal. And I think that also is another factor, that there's not a bunch of noise. We don't have to worry about an Adam Schefter tweet every other week about how he's not in the building, how he's not participating in preseason games and things like that. This is just overall a good thing for the Cincinnati Bengals. Very, very happy with this situation.
We come into the first beat of camp here to start the 2024 season with Trey Hendrickson with a pending trade request, T. Higgins with a pending trade request, and Jamar Chase holding out for contract extension, needs or whatever was on his plate. Jamar, obviously here as soon as it turned to mandatory. Trey Hendrickson has been here since the team first got to Cincinnati for voluntary camp. And now T. Higgins will be here when it gets real here after OTAs and minicamp before training camp officially starts. So all that much to do made about nothing by Adam Schefter. Everyone's here. Everyone wants to be in Cincinnati. And everyone's excited to make a run at the Super Bowl. I think you'd be naive to say the Bengals' goals are anything less than that. And I think the players recognize the ability with this roster and the people around them that this window might not be open forever, but the talent we have right now, that window is about as open as it can be. So everyone wants to compete. Everyone wants to get a ring. And it's nice to see that everyone wants to be in Cincinnati.
Of course. And as we sign off here, we get one more year of screaming T's name. And that's how I'm
Nothing better than that.
I'm going to send this off with the T. You ready, Jacob?
I'm ready. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you next time.